Why don't you give me a sign? Like the sea that leaves a trail along that shore. It's not your problem, it's mine. Everybody thinks that I'm okay. Sometimes I think I am too. I'm on the outside looking in. I'm waiting for the shockwaves to begin. Oh, won't you let me hold you for one time? Just a rainy day in a London cafe, a London cafe. So give me one last serenade. Say to me, or swear at me till the night turns into day. And it was a shame when daylight faded, because we didn't notice at all.
Being the wife of a CEO is a job. It can be lonely, and sometimes we have to make sacrifices, but it has its rewards.
Hello, I'm Sophia Jessica, and welcome to the Fan Carpet.
Hey, buddy.
How you doing?
I'm good, thanks, mate. How are you?
Yeah, doing well, thank you.
Excellent. Excellent. You look well.
You too. Congratulations on the film.
Thank you, mate.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
doing really well. Yeah, really looking for really great. Always looking forward to what you do.
I
So
appreciate
great.
that.
Yeah.
Thank you, mate.
So how have you been, Giles?
Yeah.
It's wonderful to see you.
Yeah, it's wonderful to see you. I've been all right. I've been
Good.
busy.
Yeah.
No question about that. Very busy. There's been a lot going on, a lot sorting out, and a lot to deliver and get done. But it's great. It's an exciting time, you know.
Yeah,
It's been
awesome.
it's been a good year.
Awesome. Yeah, you're not only a filmmaker, but you're a podcast host as well. So that
Yeah,
obviously keeps you busy. So
it really does.
are you one of
Uh,
these that just don't sleep?
I feel like it at the moment. I'm absolutely shattered. But yeah, yeah. I don't think I sleep. I'd like, when do I sleep? And then when I wake up, I'm like, oh God, I've got all that to do. I must do that. But that's part of it, you know. If you're gonna get stuck into this business and do it in any way, it's not for the faint-hearted, and you really have to work whatever time you do have. But it is important for me to get my rest and get my head in the right place as well, you know. My mental health in the right shape. I've started to think about that a lot more. You know, in the past, I wouldn't. I'd just be like, keep going. Oh my God, the fear. Oh God, get this done. What's happening with that email? Now it's like, okay, spend some time with you, whether it's me playing football or playing with the dog or trying to get my head away from it. But still too much to do. It just never stops.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah. So how familiar were you with the book before taking on directing duties?
Not at all. Terry Dwyer approached me and she said, and Dean Fisher, would you be interested in putting your hat in the ring to direct this film? And I was like, well, of course, I'm always happy to put my hat in the ring to direct anything that's going, is actually happening. And yeah, they sent me the script and I went, well, this is really good. And then I read the book and I went, look, I'm really interested. And then I made my pitch about how I would make it, what I would do with it. And yeah, luckily they said yes. Luckily they gave me the green light.
Awesome. So what specifically was it about Stranger in Our Bed that made you want to bring it to life on screen?
It was the real human element of it, the real fact that this could actually happen and did happen because it's based on a true story. And I really wanted to tap into that and pay homage to it, with Emily's character, you know, being the lead and really trying to figure out why she stays with him. That to me was so intriguing. And a female-led story as well was like, yeah, great. You know, especially these days, they do get, you know, they're asking after female directors, which is totally fine. So for me to go, okay, well, I want to tell this female-led story. How can you do it? What slant are you putting on it? And I found it a fascinating process, and I found it really interesting to dive into that and really put my stamp on what I wanted to bring and work with the DP, and really find a balance of color and light and shade that Emily's character Charlotte could find throughout the film. So we're constantly ramping up her colors and her tone and her feel, how close the camera was throughout, so we could create that atmosphere that we really wanted to create to keep the audience hooked and keep them interested and keep them guessing somewhat, because it is a bit of a whodunit. It is a bit of a, who did this, because there is a who did this element to it. And yeah, that for me was a challenge. It was great.
Awesome. So you obviously work with an amazing cast. Emily and Ben are among them.
Yes.
What was it about? What was the experience like, and what made them right to lead the film?
Emily was a standout. Emily Barrington straight away for Charlotte. She was just had the right innocence, the right kind of feel about her, this warmth, but also trusting side of her that is just so, you can connect to it so much. And her eyes are incredible. So you go, cool, let's put a camera on her, and it's just like pop, there she is. This amazing. You want to know the character, you want to know about her, and Emily's brilliant at finding those little intricate details within the characters she plays, and she brought so much of that to Charlotte here. So for me, that was a no-brainer. It was like, yeah, Emily. She was on my list of favorite actors. Like, who do I want? And Emily's on there. And Ben I'd worked with in a film I produced called A Serial Killer's Guide to Life, so I knew he was excellent. I knew he could deliver. And because it was in COVID, and because we wanted the couple to be intimate in the film, I suggested Ben, because I thought, well, they are a couple in real life, so that will save a lot of issues. That will stop, COVID insurance at the time was a real thing. This was happening just as the COVID sort of kicked off, so it was all very new about how we could actually get the film made. And this was a perfect example. We did the same with Samantha Bond and her husband as well. They play husband and wife in the film as well, and it just made sense to do that way. But also, Ben is an absolutely fantastic actor. So I was very lucky, to get these two, and they really wanted to relish the challenge of acting opposite each other, which they'd never done before, interestingly, at all. And they thought these two characters would be fascinating to play. How do we do this as, we're playing husband and wife in the film, but they're very different to how we are, but are people going to perceive us this way? How do we make it different? How do we make it interesting? Yeah, it was a brilliant challenge. So really, it was a no-brainer. And then Bart Edwards, I'd known from The Dare, because I cast him in that, and he was amazing in that film as a lead. And so for me, it was like, please, Bart, please come and do me a favor and come and do this for me. And he's incredibly amazing. Nina Wadia, I'd worked with her again on Followers, and she was great. Joseph Marcel, I hadn't, but I really wanted him for the part. I thought he was just fantastic. Everyone knows him so much from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and I wanted to just see what else he could do, and I loved what he brought. And then Terry, obviously, Terry Dwyer is incredible, not only producer but actress as well. So to get her to play opposite Emily and to do that wonderful sister role, I thought was just delightful. And Samantha Bond goes without saying. I don't need to say why we cast her.
Yeah, she's just brilliant.
Yeah.
Did you know Emily before?
No, I'd met her at the premiere for A Serial Killer's Guide to Life, or one of the screenings. She came with Ben, so we had vaguely said hello. And Phil Hawkins, a director who I know very well, he worked with her on his film The Last Showing, and he said she was brilliant. So I was like, well, if Phil says she's brilliant, then I'm going with that for sure. So no, I hadn't worked with her, but I knew of her. I knew what she could bring. I'd seen her in pretty much everything she'd done, just by chance. So I knew how talented she was. So for me, yeah, I definitely wanted to work with her.
That's brilliant. Can you talk about some of the challenges that you had while making the film?
Yes. There's always challenges when making a feature film, but this one I thoroughly enjoyed. I really had a great time making it. The team were incredible. Really got stuck in. We had it's not a spoiler, but there is a grave scene. You can see it in the trailer, and we had to dig a grave, and we're in a real country mansion, and we'd asked them, could we dig a grave. And again, it's just digging a hole really, that we can get people in. But the challenges of digging a grave, it's not easy. It's very hard, but also to get a camera in there, to get actors in there. And at that point in the day, which we were shooting in the night because it had to be night, we had a certain amount of time we had to finish by because of laws of scheduling timings and making sure we could be ready for the next day, turnaround time. And we had like minutes to get shots done, and we literally, I was like, Emily, Ben, get in there, let's get the shot, get the camera here, let's turn around. And interestingly, it's one of the best scenes. I really like it in the film, but it was a real challenge to shoot because we didn't have the time. And when you're shooting in a grave and you're throwing mud in people in a grave and they're fighting inside a grave, it can be really difficult. Generally, let alone when you've got very little time, and it had been raining and we were worried about slipping and injuries and stuff. Yeah, but the other stuff was filming inside London. We did bits and pieces in London, but again, because it was in COVID, there was hardly anyone around. So the issues on the film were all kind of dealt with. Anything that became a problem, we solved very quickly with amazing, like Dean and Terry. Incredible. Really incredible. For me, it ran like clockwork and it was smooth. And yeah, challenges were just making it exciting. We're making it fun and playing with the lights and playing with the actors and the character and the composition of camera moves and how I really wanted it to feel when I used Steadicam, when I didn't. Me and Richard Swingle, the DP, really talked about how we would do that and make this film very immersive that way. And light in places and dark when we needed it to, and reveals of when will the audience know the truth? When will they find that trigger moment, the Hercule Poirot moment? When will they go, Columbo, just one more thing moment? It's that. And we were really careful when to do that. And we did it very cleverly with the lights and the setup and the color and the palette to remind the audience of certain things. So they were the great challenges, and they were fun to do, fun to play with.
Awesome. So looking to the future, what does the future hold for Stranger in Our Bed?
So it came out in America on Showtime and on Hulu in the last couple of weeks and did incredibly well. It was in the top 5 Hulu played movies for the week. We were over the moon with that. That was a real joy for us to get because it was very little promotion and very little, push. Because it's just let's put it out and see. It's an indie film. It's hard to put big spend behind it. But yeah, so it's done really well. The reviews that have come in so far have been outstanding. People love the film, and it's one of those films that it's a thriller. You feel connected to it. We love thrillers. We love sitting down on Netflix and watching a thriller, etc. So it's one of those. It's a real. Okay, I'll happily watch this, men and women, and I think that's a nice feel to it. So in the UK, it's out on September the 5th. It's really nice. It feels amazing to get this film out. It feels great. I'm looking forward to people seeing it. I'm proud of it.
Awesome. So since it's on Hulu in America, does that mean it's going to get Disney Plus to release in this country? Under the Star banner?
I couldn't tell you. I'd love to tell you, but I'd have to kill you. No, I don't know. I don't know is the answer. It's beyond my pay grade.
All right, okay. It'd be cool if it does.
Yeah. We got some good offers. Put it that way. It's a cool thriller, and people want cool thrillers, and people watch that type of movie. So yes, it'll be around. You'll be able to see it. Yeah, put it that way.
Awesome. So what are you hoping audience will take away from Stranger in Our Bed when they get to see it?
I hope that they will take away a feeling of connection, a feeling of ownership, that they related to the characters, that they cared about Charlotte, our lead character, that they wanted to tell their friends about the movie and go, that's a cool one, you should watch that, I enjoyed it. And the feeling of redemption and what you should and shouldn't do as humans. There's a moral in there somewhere, to get all moralistic. It's you can't treat people a certain way and get away with it. And if you're brave, you can get out of it. And if you're strong, you should get out of it. And don't let people bully you or put you down. You have to fight it and become stronger than the people around you might want to make you.
Absolutely. So what are you working on presently that you're allowed to talk about?
Yeah, well, we've just delivered 3-Day Millionaire, which I produced. Jack Spring directed it. So that is now in the hands of our distributor, UK distributor, and we're now putting it out to our American team to see who we get. But we're very excited by that. It's got Colin Meaney, Robbie G, Jonas Armstrong, James Burrows, Lauren Foster. So it's a really cool cast, and we're very proud of it. It's the first one out of my new company called Shush Films that I run with Jack. We're very, very pleased with how that's going. We're hopefully making our next one. It's looking that way, January, February within Shush. And then I've got a couple of the directed projects that I am very, very close to getting the green light on, shall we say?
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's cool.
Awesome.
Oh, and oh yeah, I forgot Wolves of War's out as well on September the 12th. So that's my
Nice.
war film with Ed Westwick and Rupert Graves and Matt Willis. Yeah, that one's also coming out a week after Stranger in Our Bed that I directed, which is
Busy man.
strange to have 2 films out within a week, but whatever. I take it,
Yeah.
run with it, and say I'm sorry, but there you go.
Busy man. How did Shush Films come about?
Jack came on my podcast, Filmmakers Podcast, and we got chatting, and he sent me his latest film that he wanted to make. I loved it, and I brought Lucinda Rose Tucker on as a producer with me, and we said, yeah, cool, let's make it. And suddenly from there, we developed a relationship, me and Jack, and we said, let's set up a production company. We pretty much we joined forces and set up Shush officially. So yeah, that's how Shush came about.
Awesome. And so where can we find you online to keep up with everything you're doing?
I'm very active on Twitter at Giles Alderson, Instagram. It's probably at Giles Alderson as well. That's mainly where I'm mostly active. I've got a website, gilesalderson.com, and the podcast, the Filmmakers Podcast, where we constantly tell people what we're doing. We don't mean to, it just comes out. And actually, our listeners want to know what we're actually up to and how we're doing it and how we actually managed to make films and what the process was. So you can find all about me there and about how other people make their films on there. So yeah, I'm around to just put my name in. Yeah, you can find me if you really want to, but please don't stalk me.
Is there anything that's coming up on the Filmmakers Podcast that you're really excited to get done? I know that you've just interviewed for Prey.
Yeah,
that just came out. So
yeah, we had Dan Trachtenberg on, who I know you chatted to as well,
yes,
on the Fan Carpet. Jane Myers as well. What brilliant people! But coming up, we've got Craig Roberts, brilliant director of Phantom of the Opera, but he's also an amazing actor of Submarine as well. We've got
we spoke to him a few months ago.
Yeah, I saw that as well. Yeah, you chatted to him. What a lovely guy. Really nice. So he's talking about his new company called Filmed, which is helping indie filmmakers connect around the world. That's really exciting. And yeah, we've got the CEO of New Bayana Studios, who pretty much we did it, exec my first ever feature that got made. So we had a good chat. So that's going to be really exciting to say how his version of how and why he made my film and why he chose me, if you like. We've had Stephen Fry on recently and McKellen. So loads of amazing people, and it just keeps growing. The others are all secret until I do them because they might not happen. But we've also got loads of other big names coming up. But I love talking to filmmakers. But yeah, it does take up a lot of my time. But more importantly, I love helping filmmakers. So, which I felt like I didn't get when I first started, and a lot of my peers didn't get. So if I'm giving any help in any way to any filmmakers, for me it's an absolute honor and a delight.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a great podcast as well.
Bless you. Thank you, mate.
All right. Well, this has been wonderful. I look forward to seeing you soon, and yeah, I'm sure I'll see you at Fright Fest at some point this month as well. I'm sure you've got like a couple of films there.
Yes, yeah. I'll be around. I'm going to see some mates' films. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, I'll see you at Fright Fest.
Yeah, Charlie Bond has got a film at Fright Fest this year, so
yeah,
to that.
That'll be a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, there's a few that I'm looking forward to, but let's see. I'm on recce's at the moment, location scout, so I'm out and about. So I'm aiming to get there, but let's see. I really want to be there.
Cool. Well, you look after yourself. Have a good day. Take care.
Thank you, mate, and
Thanks very
you have
much.
an amazing one. Appreciate this a lot. You're a
No
top man.
worries. No worries at all. Take care of yourself.
Take care, buddy. Bye.
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 Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. Please follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram for more content next time.
I'm here on the largest of the Balearic Islands, Mallorca, with the turquoise waters of the Mediterranean Sea, beautiful mountainous landscape, the thriving city of Palma, quaint little market towns, a growing number of luxury hotels. It's no surprise that the likes of Audrey Hepburn and Elizabeth Taylor like to holiday here. So come and join me as I take you around Mallorca.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. If you like this video, be sure to click that thumbs up button at the bottom of your screen. And also be sure to subscribe to the Fan Carpet YouTube channels. They're absolutely free and so much fun too. Be sure to check out the official website, thefancarpet.com. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date with reviews, competitions, the latest news, and so much more.